Hey, I'm David with the Cola guys. We are super excited to talk bugs and moisture today. With us, we have the owner of Modern Exterminating Company, Glenn Matthews. Glenn, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, David, and thank you for having me on today.
This is a topic that, in about 2 years we've been doing our podcast now, we have not covered. We've mean to covered it. I think we've just waiting to find the right person, and you are that right person. So, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you with us.
Brought to you by Dick Dyer, Mercedes-Benz, the first Mercedes-Benz in South Carolina.
So, Glenn, let's just kind of jump right in and get right to it. You're in a family-owned business, multi-generational. Give us your background and your history with Modern Exterminating Company.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on today. It's a pleasure to be on here. I'm actually a frequent listener of your show, so I enjoy many of the topics you've already had on, and I do believe that termites are a big topic here in South Carolina. So we are Modern Exterminating Company. We're a third generation family owned business. My granddad started our business in 1955, and from 1942 to 1955, he was the branch manager for the Columbia area Orkin, and so Orkin got bought out in 1955 by Rollins Company. Rollins Company still owns Orkin today, and you know how it is with buyouts. When people get bought out, a lot of times the manager goes with them, and
Yep.
that's what ended up happening. I don't know if my granddad resigned or was fired, but either way, he started our business October 3rd, 1955. We started out with my granddad was the technician, and my grandmother answered the phones in the office. And we started with two customers, and one of those customers we still have today,
Oh,
68 years old.
wow.
So, people talk about customer retention. I don't know how many 68-year companies have their first customers, but we have one of our two first customers still. He's in his 90s now, but he's still a termite bondholder with us even to this day.
That's a pretty awesome story just in and of itself. That this,
Yeah,
I assume this 90-year-old person.
people talk
Go
talk
ahead.
about customer retention these days, and that customers, they jump around, they don't stay with you long and all that. But 68 years, that's something to brag about. I think that also is a testament to our company, to our service, to our team members, that we can keep a customer that long.
Absolutely. And I mean, I guess just off the top of my head, is he in the same house he's been in for all these years?
He is. He's one of those old school
Wow.
guys. He bought a house and he lived in it and never moved. So we've had that house under termite guarantee for 68, and it'll be in October 69 years. So we're
Wow.
really, really, really proud about that.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, you know, I guess that in and of itself speaks to the quality of service that you guys give and provide here in the Columbia community. Before we dive into talking about what y'all do, specifically why we need your service, tell us the breadth of everything that y'all do at Modern Exterminating, because you don't focus just on termites.
No, we don't. Termites are a big part of our business. They're about half of our business. So about 50% of our business is termite. And then the other 50% is a combination of pest control, mosquito control, moisture control. And we do have a repair department that repairs termite damage. So
Yeah.
we do a lot of different things. We do a lot of things people don't know about. A lot of people think if you have mosquito in your name, they're the only ones that can do mosquitoes. No, we've been doing mosquitoes longer than all the people with the mosquito in their name. And, we just want to be a one stop shop for our customers. So from the minute you call us, we can take care of your moisture in your crawl space. We can take care of the termites in the crawl space, pest control, mosquitoes, and if you have any damage due to termites, we can also fix that. So that's also what makes us very valuable to realtors as well.
Yes, and I can speak to the fact that we've used you and our customers were very satisfied. Y'all were quick to respond and got work done for us in a very timely fashion. So, kudos to y'all.
Well,
You
we
know,
we appreciate you using us, number one, and number two. I think we have a great team that we've assembled, and our team understands customer service. We understand that termite damage can be a scary thing to homeowners. We try to handle
yeah,
it in the best way we can, and we try to handle it in a professional manner. And I think that that's just a testament to our business, and how long we've been in business.
absolutely. So, let's just talk about this critter. I don't know if it's a critter or a pest or an insect or all of the above, but you know, in South Carolina, you can't look at building, buying, selling a house without the subject of termites coming up. So, you know, let's give us a little overview about what is a termite, and why are we so focused on them with our buildings?
Well, South Carolina has the best environment for almost any pest. We are hot. It doesn't get too cold. The ground never freezes. We have high humidity. So anytime you have all those factors in one place, you're going to have problems with termites, you're going to have problems with roaches, ants, almost every pest. So, I know a lot of people are now moving from up north down south, and I think it comes to a shock to them how bad termites can be or how big our roaches are. And it's just funny when people from New York call me and they're like, "Oh, we didn't have termites, or we didn't have these big palmetto bugs," and I always tell them, I'm like, "Well, welcome to South Carolina. You don't have to shovel snow, but you do have to deal with our pests."
Absolutely. So, you know,
And
talk. Hello.
yeah.
So, talk about what it is about the termite. We know they're a wood-eating insect, but you know, what do they do? Why are we so concerned about them? When we're buying, selling most, for the most part, residential structures.
The termite you see here the most is what's called the eastern subterranean termite. They live
Yep.
underground. They forage underground. They reproduce. They'll send their swarmers out to reproduce, but most everything we have is eastern subterraneans. Now there is a new breed of termite or new species of termite called the Formosan termite to our area. Now Formosans have been big in the Charleston area for a long time, and we thought maybe they wouldn't be here for another 20 or 30 years. Well, they're here now.
Oh
We found the
wow.
first infestation of Formosan termites in the Columbia area. We found them in Lexington, and we found several others since then. And the Formosan termite can eat 10 times faster than the Eastern subterranean termite. So this termite is kind of a super termite, and it can eat
Oh,
faster, and they're more aggressive than any other termite in our area. So, and this is a new pest that we're having to deal with now, which makes it all the more important to have a termite bond now, to get a CL 100 now, and to make
yeah.
sure that your home is protected, because not only do you have the eastern subterranean problem, now you're going to have the Formosan problem as well.
Well, and you don't want to be caught by surprise. You don't want to find this out after it's way too late. And so you brought up the CL 100 report, and every time we help a buyer buy a house, or even some of our sellers, we're recommending that maybe they go ahead and get this done just to make sure that their house is in good condition. What is that report? What is its purpose? Who can do it? Explain all of that to our listeners.
Well, to do a CL 100 report, you have to have a pest control license issued by Clemson University in the state of South Carolina. So either your company has to have one, or somebody in your organization has to have one to do a proper CL 100. So we'll start there. So you have to know what you're looking for. You have to be trained in what you're looking for. And we also, when we go into our house, we're looking for various things. We're looking for termites, looking for termite damage, looking for any moisture issues. So there's several things we look for. It's not just termites, but moisture can also add to having termites, because termites love wet wood. So a lot of times we'll find termites in that wet wood. And so that's why it's good to have moisture inspection as well as a termite inspection every
Yeah.
year, because it can get out of hand pretty fast. And as you know, water damage and moisture damage can multiply fast, as well as termite damage.
Yes, sir. So we get the CL 100 report done. You guys come back, you know, to us as a real estate agents, and then we have to explain to our buyers, we need to ask sellers to do this repair. We have to tell our sellers that they need to do this repair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you go about combating termites? Let's start with the preventative. Like, you've got a new house or a newer house, there's nothing going on. You don't want it to start, especially now that we know we've got this new strain of termites up here that are, really aggressive. What do y'all do to prevent them from getting into the house to begin with?
Well, it starts with the proper inspection. If you have a good inspection, then you can either find termites, or you can tell the customer you may not have termites at this time. But generally, it's just a waiting game. I always say there's
Yeah,
two types of houses in South Carolina: ones that have termites and ones that are going to get them. So obviously, you need to have a good inspection with a good company that will stand behind their work. And when we treat your house, either be with like a liquid treatment or the Centricon baiting stations, um, you're putting your trust in our company that if there is a problem, that we'll come back, we'll take care of it. And that's one reason I think you want to have a company like ours that's been in business a long time, because we stand behind our work, we stand behind everything we do, and the termite bond is only as good as the company that issues it. So a lot of times I hear people tell me, "Oh, well, this guy over here in his truck can do it half of what you can do it for." I'm like, "Yeah, but is he going to stand behind that work? Can you find him whenever you're have a problem?" And sometimes I found out that sometimes those guys aren't as responsive when you have a problem as you do when you have the money to give to them. So I always say, do your homework. Find, make sure the
yeah,
company you're with or has good Google reviews. It's been in business for a long time. That they know what they're doing. Their staff is trained. So that's a big thing in our business. I think people don't understand. We're all not the same, because when you really need us, that's when you find out, you know, how good your company is. And I think that's one thing that we've always been known for. We stand behind our work. If somebody calls in, they have a problem, we'll try to get out there within 24 to 48 hours to take care of the problem. So, and I've seen
sure.
some horror stories where people have had termite treatments done improperly, and then they can't get the guy back out there on the phone, and then we have to come out and take care of the problem. So I always say, do your homework, find a company that you trust, and then go with them. And it's not all about the price sometimes. And like they always
Yeah.
say, you pay for what you get. And I think in our business that's true as well.
So you mentioned you have, there are two potential options to, prevent your home or to keep your home from, having termites enjoy it. And that's either a liquid treatment or these bait stations. Are there times when you recommend one solution over another, or times where you recommend a combination of both? What are the factors that lead you to recommend one solution versus another with customers?
Well, a lot of times it depends on what the customer's preference is. Some customers don't want you going in there and drilling into their house, drilling into their porches, drilling into their garages. And if they don't want you to drill into the house, the Citricon stations are a great solution for
Yeah,
that, because you can just put them around the house, and they're a bait. So when the termites hit that bait, they'll ingest the bait and they'll take it to the rest of the colony. Um, Now, for liquid treatments, Liquid treatments used to be the only way to treat for termites. A long time ago, about 30 years ago, that was all you had. It was liquid treatments. And then when the baits came along, the bait started taking a lot of that liquid treatment off the table. I
Yeah.
We still sell both, and I think both are effective. And I think it just depends on what you want. Some people don't want chemicals in or around their house. Well, that's fine. If you don't want chemicals in or around your house, the baiting stations are a green solution that can help you. And but if you don't mind the chemicals, we'll go out there, we'll drill the house, we'll treat it. But I let the customer kind of have the preference on that, because I don't want to do anything to their home that they don't want done. So, but we'll recommend either one, and they're both effective. When I did treated my house, I did a dual treatment. I did chemical around the house and put the baits down, they're both effective. It just depends on what you want.
So in South Carolina, we have the ability to build a house on a slab where there's no
Mhm.
crawl space. A lot of people think that that keeps them from having a termite problem. True or false?
That's one big myth of the termite industry that I hear all the time. People say, I'm on a slab, I'm not going to get termites. Well, guess what? That slab is going to crack. It doesn't matter how well you put down the concrete, it doesn't matter if you put the concrete down perfectly, concrete is going to crack. Over time, it's going to crack. And a 16th of an inch is all a termite needs to come up and start eating on the wood inside the house. So, I hear it all the time that, oh, I don't need treatment, I'm on a slab. Well, sometimes slabs get termites worse because they'll come up, you can't see them, they're inside the walls, they're eating, and you never know it until maybe you're put your hand on the wall or something and your hand goes through the wall. So it just there's no type of construction in South Carolina that's immune to termites. So if you've got a slab home, crawl space home, whatever you have, you're going to need a termite bond on it.
Well, and thank you for clarifying that, because I think a lot of people need to hear that from somebody who's an expert at this, instead of just, like you said, that urban myth out there of like, oh, I live on a big piece of concrete, the bugs aren't going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
They do
Mm-hmm.
come in.
Well, anytime you have
And
any wood in that structure, any sheetrock, anything like that, they could eat on that,
yeah,
So, uh, even if you have a slab and you got, some steel on there, but you're going to have wood cabinets, you're going to have some wood in there. And believe me, they're very good at finding it.
oh yeah, they are. I've seen the evidence of that time and time and time again. Um, so, let's shift gears a little bit here, because I think we've covered the termite thing enough to, tell everybody, if you're getting your house inspected, or even if you're owning it and maintaining it, it needs to be treated. It needs to be treated regularly. They need to maintain their termite bond. That helps with the with the longevity of their house, with the property value of their house. But we also run into moisture issues, and the moisture issues, play into the termite habitat thing. But moisture underneath a house, and it causes problems, beyond termites. So, talk to us a little bit about why moisture is, another thing under the house, or a high moisture level is something underneath the house you need to be concerned about.
Well, moisture is the kind of the silent killer of a house, especially if you have a leak or high humidity. A lot of times there'll be a lot of moisture seeping up from the ground, and it'll start seeping into your sills and subfloors, and eventually it will break down the integrity of the home. And so I always suggest, along with your termite inspection, we always do moisture readings under a house. So moisture readings, you know, 18 and below, you're probably pretty good. Anything above 18, you probably need to address. When I say 18, I mean 18% humidity. in the wood. So you probably need to address it if it's over 18%. If it's over 25%, you really have a problem.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it in that sweet spot under 18%. So it could, and there's a lot of different solutions to that. Some people just need a moisture barrier. Just put down some plastic under the house, stake it down, and they're good with that. But there are some houses that have a higher humidity level that might need a full encapsulation system with a dehumidifier, sealing off the vents. That's kind of the new way of doing things. It used to be you just threw down some polyethylene, and then you put in temp vents, and that was kind of the solution when I got in the business. But now things have evolved, and we're doing full encapsulations now. We're doing dehumidifiers now. We're doing French drains now. So all of those things can help mitigate moisture under your home. So I would always recommend getting somebody that is licensed in the moisture business to come out and take a look at your house, whether it be a termite company. There are some moisture companies as well out there, but somebody that can come under your house, give you a fair moisture reading and a fair solution to that problem. And I don't know how many times I've been under a house and there's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of sill work or subfloor work that could have been prevented by just putting down either a moisture barrier or an encapsulation system. So that's something
Yeah.
that we've started doing within the last, I'm talking about the encapsulation systems, or something we've been doing in the last few years that we've gotten into. We've gotten into doing the drainage in the last few years, and it's been good for us because it's a great add-on service to our business because we're already under the house anyway. We're used to being in crawl spaces. We're used to working in crawl spaces. So it's something that we can do and that we can do pretty reasonably for people.
Yeah. Well, and that, so this whole look at the moisture level under the house is part of the CL 100 inspection process again, right?
hmm Yeah, and when we go under a house and do a seal 100, we'll go under there. We'll look for termites. If we find termites, we'll give you a price on the solution. If we find moisture, we can give you a price on a solution for that. So, we're pretty versatile in that area to where I think if you get a seal 100 with our company, we can give you a lot of different solutions for any problem that you may encounter under there. If you encounter some things that need to be repaired, we can do that as well. So I always recommend calling a professional in. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just do that myself. And you can do it yourself, but it's time consuming and you need to know what you're
Yeah.
doing. And if you do it wrong, you can really mess it up. So that's kind of my advice on that, on the moisture end.
Yeah, it's, and we run into this issue when we, showing clients homes that, were built back 50s, 60s, 70s that somebody's bought and flipped. Those homes didn't
Mm-hmm.
have moisture barriers underneath them, and, it can be a problem. So, hopefully flippers that are listening to us out there will, start looking at that as part of their remodel process, just as a preventative, and, hopefully reach out to somebody like you to, come do that for them. So, well, I think, we've kind of beat both of these topics, enough around where hopefully people have a better understanding of what the CL 100 report does, why we look for termites here in South Carolina, why moisture is important to mitigate and control under the house. Anything else you want to add, to what we've talked about today that might be good for our homeowners or future homeowners to hear?
Well, just to reiterate some of the things I said already, in South Carolina, we have great weather. You'll never have to worry too much about snow or anything like that. But with those advantages comes a disadvantage of having a lot of pests and having moisture issues and things like that, mosquitoes, fire ants, wildlife, which is something else we do. So it's just finding a professional to come out that you trust. Obviously, I would always recommend my company, but there's other great companies out
Yeah.
there in our area that could help you as well. And I'm just feel like I'm blessed to be in a great business, and we do it in an area that really needs our business, that really needs our services. So, I'm excited about Columbia, about the growth of Columbia, and I think Columbia has a lot of great growth opportunity right now, great business opportunity, and I think it's a great place to move to. And we're seeing a lot of that now, a lot of growth, and our company's seeing a lot of growth because of that. So, I just, feel very blessed to be here in this community doing what I do, and we're about the community. We serve the community, and I give back to the community, and I think that's important. And I think when you're looking for a company to do work for you, that's important as well.
Well, and I will concur with you on that. You and I know each other because we've crossed paths in other organizations,
Hmm.
service organizations, chambers, some of the business chambers here in the local community. And we always try and find people that, are not just, we'll call it taking from the community, but
Hmm.
they're giving back and contributing in a meaningful way. And you guys at Modern Exterminating, and I know you yourself, personally very much do that. And we'll have you back on another time to talk about that. But thank you, for all you Modern Exterminating does, and for you and for your wife, what y'all give back to, the greater Columbia area, because this is a great place to live. And,
Hmm.
there are a lot of things here in Columbia that I think the average person does not know that we have. And, so appreciate you. Thank you for giving us your time today to talk about this subject. I know we'll be sharing this with customers for a long time to come, just to help them understand why we do what we do and part of buying the house. So, Glenn, appreciate your time. How can people reach out if they want to call Modern Exterminating to have you guys come out and take a look at their house or provide service for them? What's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Well, you can call us at 803-765-2315. You can email us at whatbugsyou at pestfreesc.com, or you can go to our website. We have a chat on our website. We have a contact us form on our website. You can go through Facebook, any of those, and we'll answer all of them because we are that's this is our business. This is our local business, so we take every customer seriously. So, if you call us, we'll answer the phone, and we'll try to schedule as fast as we can, because I know there's a lot of options out there, and I want to be the first option for everybody.
Awesome. Well, Glenn, thanks again. Appreciate having you on, and we'll have you back on very soon. Okay.
Well, thank you, David.
Is sponsored by Bell Carrington, Price and Gregg. Bell Carrington is our choice for the best real estate attorneys in town. They are highly communicative and make sure that the closing process is as smooth as possible. With offices in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama, they can handle any of your real estate finance, eminent domain, financial services litigation, and litigation needs. Call their Columbia SC office today at 803-509-5078.